Welcome to Watch It Weekly Wednesday. So excited to have you guys here because this is something that you've been asking for on how to make masculine cards. Well, I'm going to show you how to take a regular card that's more a feminine card and make it more masculine. So we're just going to use this as an idea, the layout. Anytime you make a masculine card, sometimes it's just changing the color of the cardstock or the paper and the inks. Or it's maybe instead of pearls, you use some other kind of metal. All right, so of course crumb cake is great for anything, but I'm going to go ahead and use crumb cake for our base. And I'm going to go ahead and use these two stamp sets, the window shopping for the happy birthday for the saying that I'm using. And this stamp set right here is really for tie-dyed. It's called the tie-dyed stamp set. But if you notice, the stamps are a lot bigger than the picture is right here. We're going to go ahead and do two of these because I'm going to show you how to do two of the browns right here. Okay, so these are the backgrounds right here. This one I've already went through the Big Shot and used the hexagon dynamic. And you only use one clear plate because it's very thick. It's a different kind of folder. So we have this one that's already has the texture on it that I ran through the Big Shot. Now I'm going to show you how to just use, if you don't have any folders or the Big Shot, you just take your piece of cardstock. And our cardstock is dyed through and through, so it looks really good. And if it tears, it's okay. There's no problem with that. So I'm just going to give it the texture from wrinkling that card. Straighten it out a little bit, and then we're going to use fast fuse because of the dimension of your cardstock. And kind of do it in the corners a little bit. So I just went ahead and put it all on there. And the crumb cake, we're going to try to get this in the center as much as possible. And press that down. So you've got your texture from that, and I'm going to go ahead and use this. I'm going to do it backwards than the sample that is showing, just to give it a different look on that, on these hexagon. Okay, so we've got the two backgrounds. Now because of the color, it already looks masculine. So we'll go from there, and I'm going to use a background stamp. And background stamps are great for stamping just any kind of texture. So I'm just going to use this. This is designed to be two-step. I'm going to use a darker color first, and I'll place that down. And just make sure you press down enough. Okay, we've got the early espresso, and then I'm going to use crumb cake, the two colors that are in our card. And I'm going to go ahead and walk that across the stamp pad. And these are designed to line up. So you can go ahead and look to say, oh, that's the wrong way. I'm going to turn it around. There's this little line right here on this stamp. So if it's down this way, either way you'll see that there's a little line. And on the stamp, there's a little piece of white that would fit inside that line. So that's how you know how to line it up. And then I'm going to look at the bottom and that area right there and try to, with the photopolymer, they're a lot easier to line up. So I'm going to press that down, and we should have the two textures on there. Now you can take your darker color. The cool thing about this, if you want to make a texture, you can go ahead like this. Stamping it and then smear it. Now that will give you a cool texture. You can use that as your background instead of this. If you look at that, you can lay that right on top. It will give you just a different look. So that's another way to do it. Now as far as cutting this out goes, let me go ahead and show you how I do that. I'm going to give it a little of 1/8 of an inch edge, and with the Stampin' Up trimmer, I'm going to go ahead and line this up right here, this edge, with the edge of the plastic right there. And then I'm going to cut, and that will give me an automatic 1/8 of an inch edge if I do that. You want to make sure to line this line up on that first, after you do that first cut, then you'll keep it square. Oops, move my paper. Let's finish that off again. And I always like on this particular stamp to stamp on a big piece of paper and then trim it after, because it is kind of free form a little bit. So, oops, I just moved that again. Okay, so we've got that edge. So we can decide which one we want to use on our card. I'm going to go ahead and use this one. And I'm just going to go ahead, I'm not going to pop this up. So, okay, we'll go ahead and put this in the center. Now, if we were going to be using a ribbon, we could use that ribbon right now. Now, what I would suggest is something with texture. You could do something like that, or you could do it this way. You can also use the linen thread, which is right here. So either one of those will work. So you can decide which one you like. I'm going to go ahead and stamp the happy birthday. And we're going to use that from this set right here, the window shopping. But we'll go ahead and stamp this down. Try to get that in the center, but hopefully. Okay, so there's the happy birthday. Now it's kind of stark if we were to put that on right now. We could. I would use metal. These are our Urban Underground embellishments. They're new and they're really cool to use for the masculine card. So you can go ahead and put the stars there, or let's go ahead and put the stars on this one. You can take your stamp pad and just kind of lightly just do some lines across it and give it some more roughing up look. Just kind of running it across, just lightly. So it's not so stark, but it gives it that. So we're going to go ahead and use our dimensionals to pop this up. So I'm just going to pop this happy birthday up. Now we can use any kind of ribbon with this that we talked about, those textured, or you can even use a banner. Any kind of banner would work because it gives you the texture too. You can pop that up. So I'm going to go ahead and tear this. All right, and I'm going to pop it up just to give it a little bit more dimension. Let's do this, let's do that. Okay, so that's a very simple guy card in comparison to this one, but it's giving you the same look, just using some different tools. Let me show you them all done up. Here's one just done. I stamped this without using the background, just used the early espresso and did that kind of slide across effect. And then this is with the background right over the stamp to give it some texture in the linen thread. So I'm going to give you a bunch more ideas of masculine cards. So this is one of my favorite layouts for guy cards, and it's just banners. Banners, you know, it's that more geometric shape, and just using some texture there, that will help too. So there's one of our new stamp sets. The Best Guy Ever is with a new saying set. This is the same layout as a previous video I did on a banner layout, and that will be linked on your screen. So this is using some of the same product, the same designer series paper with that stamp, just showing you a different layout. But if you notice, it's just, instead of a banner, I just did a piece across. Very simple cards. Here's another masculine card idea with just geometric shapes. And there's using with the tools, of course. And that, even the Wink of Stella is on there. Now this is interesting. This, of course, is a Valentine card or a love card or however you'd like to use it for, but it's the shaker. But if you notice, by adding the early espresso color in here, it lends itself to more a masculine look. So that's really cool too. This right here, the black is added, and the gray, which looks more masculine. This right here is fun. One of my friends made this, and it's a bag, and I would put a candy bar in here for your loved one. And this early espresso is the same way. We took this idea right here and made it a card for Valentine. But have you noticed? Banner, 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 banner. See, remember those ideas about the banner? It's a really good way to make a masculine card. I have a lot more masculine card ideas You can see this. There's a bunch here. And I'm going to have these on my Pinterest board, and I'll link it below. So if you click on that, you'll get to go to my Pinterest board and see all these masculine card ideas. Make sure you follow the board, and we will add more masculine card ideas and other categories also. So it's a good way to see more ideas from us. I hope you enjoyed our video on Watch It Weekly Wednesday. And we're going to do a giveaway for this tie-dyed stamp set. It's great for backgrounds for masculine cards. You need to comment, share, and like to be entered into our contest to get this tie-dyed stamp set. So I hope you enjoyed Watch It Weekly Wednesday, and we'll see you next time.